Nighthouse has just hit theaters this week, and this is a film to really unravel a lot of different aspects. Find out all my thoughts about this film next. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Reviews with Ryan. Today I'm going to be covering The Nighthouse. This is directed by David Bruckner and stars Rebecca Hall, Sarah Goldberg, and Vondi Curtis Hall. The film is about a woman grieving after the loss of her husband. She is really at a loss of what to do, and there's a lot of mystery to why her husband has killed himself, and that is the premise of the film. Now, normally when you watch a horror film, you're thinking to yourself, well, is it a bunch of jumpy type of scares? Is that all it really is? I'm here to tell you that that is not how this film is. There is a few jump scares. It's only about 2 or 3 in the film, but the movie does not rely on that. The movie has a good dark tone. The cinematography is really good. There's a lot of shots where they use optical illusion type shots, and they do a really good job with that. The color and the lighting, they do a really good job with that. There's some red that they use. There's definitely dark elements. The whole movie is very dark, and I really liked the whole type of atmosphere and tension that it builds throughout the film. I also like how the film keeps you guessing. It's not a predictable film at all. I found myself trying to guess, trying to figure out what was going to happen in the plot. And it's just one of those films where you really have to really watch the film and pay attention. And if you miss anything, you might not be able to gather all the details. They do not spoon feed you the details in this movie. You definitely have to pay attention. I actually saw this film twice because I missed some details in the first time that I viewed it. And I feel like with some people, because of that, they may not have the patience for this film, but I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was something different. I felt that it didn't need to rely on horror cliches as much, and I think that they did a good job. Really, just Rebecca Hall, she just does a really good job on this film. She's really the center of attention in this film, and there's a few characters. There's a neighbor, and then she has a best friend. They're a little bit in the film, but there's really no other characters for the most part. There's a few little tiny little side characters, but they don't amount much to the film. It's really focused on Rebecca Hall, and she does a really good job with this film. Really, you're kind of guessing and trying to figure out these different horror elements that are happening. Is it in her head? Is there some type of spiritual thing going on? What is really going on? Even after a second viewing, I still find myself kind of questioning certain things. I have different theories about this film and different clues that they offer throughout the film. And it's just one of those films where even after a second viewing, I still have a ton of questions, and I feel like I got a little bit more clarity on the second viewing. And I just love that this film it can really create a lot of different ideas and different theories. And it's just something where it's just not like a simple type of wrap-up ending. And that was one thing I liked about the film. I just think it's a different film. I think more people should be watching this film. I honestly feel like this is a classic type of horror film, and honestly, future directors should take off this kind of script because it just did a really good job engaging me the whole time. So in closing, is this a film you should see in theaters? I definitely say yes. This was a great film. As I said, I watched it twice. I really enjoyed it. It really made me think, especially after the first viewing. I was kind of contemplating what kind of score to give it, but after a second watch, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. It's one of the best of the year. Honestly, any type of horror film is really gonna have to compete with this film coming up. I know there's a bunch of different films coming up, but I just really like this film, and honestly, you should really check it out. Even if you can't get to a theater, definitely check it out when it comes to VOD. It's worth your time. I definitely enjoyed it. It's gonna make you think, and I just really can't stop raving about the scenery, the different shots in this film, Rebecca Hall's character. There's just so many different elements that make this a good film, and I really think that you guys should check it out. So drop a comment and let me know what you guys think about this film. I really enjoyed it, as you can tell, and I'm curious to see what other people's opinions are. I definitely have seen some interesting opinions on this film. Thank you guys for checking out this review, and I'll see you guys in my next one.